Hi, welcome everybody. I'm Stuart Small, GeForce Golf founder and inventor of the GeForce swing trainers. Today's video is going to be about the GeForce driver. This is the latest addition to the collection. So it works along the same principles as the 7-iron and the wedge with the flexible shaft. But this time I've put it into a beautiful head. I've got a 10 degree 460cc forged titanium head, which looks absolutely stunning and feels amazing. I think a lot of you will want to use this on the golf course, to be honest. But your job as a golfer is to transmit energy from your body into the club head. So there's no golf club on the planet that is going to do that job for you. So you need to understand how you can do that. And when you look at a previous video about developing club head speed, hopefully you can understand that a little bit more, instead of believing that you need to go out and buy the latest technology to help you hit it another 3 yards, which is probably going to be another 3 yards offline for a lot of you, because a lot of these clubs, there's a lot of adjustability on them now, too many shaft options, and at the end of the day, yeah, you can get fitted and get that club tweaked a little bit to help you out, but your swing's still going to be the same. You know, you're the one that's powering this golf club, not the other way around. So why not, you know, work on your actual swing mechanics and get better at that? You know, wouldn't it be great if we could get everybody who was, you know, like a mid-high handicapper, and a lot of you I know would have been playing off the same handicap all of your golfing career. You know, some people have been playing off the same handicap for 40 years. That's not right. Okay, you should be a lot better. You should be better as you go along. And if you can understand the swing technique and have some really good tools to help you with that, that you can use at home and on the golf course, then we can get everybody better at golf. We can get more people playing. It's frustrating when you're hitting it in the bushes all the time, so you're not going to want to come back and play. But if you can hit it sweet, a little bit of help from me, my clubs, then you're going to enjoy this game, especially on a beautiful day like this. Okay, so you have to transmit the energy into the club head. That's what we've got to do. Okay, look at how to generate speed in my previous videos. Why did I develop this? Because it helps with tempo. If you can get your tempo, it sorts a lot of things out. The only way you're going to have good tempo, first of all, is by having a good rotation. So for me to swing my arms and club almost like a pendulum, I need to make sure my body is rotating correctly to allow me to do that, as you can see here. Okay, a lot of you are swayers. If you're swaying, you're really going to struggle to create good tempo. So work on that first, and the tempo should be 3 to 1, as I've talked about before. Once you've nailed that tempo, I would recommend, before hitting balls with the swing trainer, work on some practice swings. So let me take you through a few steps on how to use this in training. Okay, next thing we'll look at is sequencing the downswing. This is where most of you fail. It's a massive problem, but it's difficult to do, it's difficult to feel. But this is really going to help you out. Once you've wound up fully, right arm folded, wrist folded as well, and you're at the top of your backswing, you're ready to start the downswing. Everybody always says, you know, there's a slight pause at the top of the backswing, but there's a reason for that. Don't think you're just going to have a great transition if you get to the top and then pause and then start back down again. There's a reason why that pause is there, and I'm going to explain to you what's going on. So when we look at an elite player, you know, they're setting up, making this great turn, getting to the top, and then once everything's fully loaded with the turn and the arm and the wrist hinge there, what they do differently to most players, you know, we're talking about mid to high handicappers, is they start the downswing from the ground up. So we've already got pressure into that left leg there, and then what we're doing is starting the downswing from the ground up, rotating. So you can see the last thing that's going to move is my golf club. That's coming last, and there's very little stress on the shaft there. I'm not applying any force to the grip end of the golf club. So it's ground up. So what's happening as I get to the top, the reason why it looks like there's a pause is because we can see the rest of the body going first before the golf club comes, which is last, and that's that little pause. It's not actually a full-on pause because we are moving. We're just moving from here up, okay? So you take most golfers opposite way around. So you get to the top, and then what you tend to do rather than starting from the ground up is you start from up, down. So you get to the top and then you're pulling that club hard, okay? It's wrong. You get to the top, you're yanking it down. Well, you know, what that's going to do with the shaft as well, pulling it, it's really going to steepen the shaft as well. Because you're pulling it down vertically, it's just going to, even if it was shallow, if you pull hard, what's the shaft going to do? It's going to stand up, isn't it? So if you get to the top, really get that pressure into that front foot and unwind body first. The thing with the shaft is what you want to try and imagine that you're doing in transition is keeping the shaft rigid. So if I pull hard on the shaft, you can see it's going to flex around. I'm not going to be able to hit the ball. If I transition smoother or start from the ground up, you can see it looks pretty rigid. It's probably only going to bend about that much when you do it properly. But if you start pulling it around, you're never going to hit the ball. So that's why we sort of see that bit of a pause, because as the arms and club are slowing down, we're already starting to move the other way from the ground up, not from up down. So it's really important just to get that transition as smooth as possible. And for a lot of you, you feel like you're not going to hit it very far. I think that's why you're reluctant to do it. You just feel like you have to get up there and put as much into it as possible. But just try it, hit a few shots nice and easy with a nice slow tempo. Let's just hit one here. So I'm not really going to rush it, just going to get a nice smooth tempo. And that flies away beautifully. Felt like I was in full control of it. If my swing was a little bit out, I'll soon know about it with the shaft. So always start nice and smooth with it. As I mentioned earlier on, if you think you're going to buy this training aid or any golf club and you think you're going to improve straight away within 20 swings, think again. You need to be in it for the long term. Okay, you need to work on it, all the positions. You need to work on trying to get the feels right with the golf club. You need to do your 20 to 30 swings minimum a day to start to develop your swing. Otherwise you're never going to improve. How good would it be for everybody to improve 5 to 10 shots off the handicap, which is completely possible. You look at all the good players out there, especially the young ones. They're always on the range, always hitting balls, they're always improving, getting better. Most players, you leave the house straight to the golf club on the tee, warm up, nothing. You could be at home having your cup of coffee in the morning and spending 5 or 10 minutes before you go out with the swing trainer. Even if you haven't got time to hit balls, you're at home, you've got the golf club in your hand, you're getting a nice stretch as well before you go and play. So it's really going to help out for that warm-up, that pre-round warm-up if you don't get time to hit golf balls. And I'm pretty sure, if you love the sport that much, you could find that little 10-15 minutes every day to swing it. In the garden, put some tees in the ground so you got something to hit and just work on it. It's going to work, trust me. Okay, so we're going to check out the next step now. Next step of training, which is going to be hitting balls with the GForce swing trainer. So the way I typically use it is initially, having a few swings, just trying to feel like everything's really connected and working together. Hands, arms, body, everything's got to feel smooth. If I get a little bit out of sync, for example, if my arms sort of outrace my body a little bit, I'm going to feel that. A lot of you do that. A lot of you who chicken wing, it's because as you're coming down, you're trying to pull the club through too soon with the hands and arms as opposed to body first and then hands and arms. So a couple of swings, really try and get that club to whip through, feel that loud swish. and then just put it on the ball. Bit of a bullet, that one. Jeez, that flew. Enjoyed that one. But they're not all going to go good. The one before wasn't so good. But that's the thing, you're going to hit one good, one bad. That's better. Gone like a rocket, that one has. So you can really feel it. You get a lot of feedback from the flexibility of this shaft. Also the sound, you know, you're trying to get quite a loud swish. That's a good sign of club head speed. And then obviously the direction of the ball flight. So great tool, and along with my instruction, hopefully we can get everybody playing much better golf. When you use this shaft properly, it's like loading a bow and arrow. Because when you think about it, when you get to the top, there's a little bit of load here in the shaft. And if you sequence properly coming down, so as you're coming down and the hands and arms start to slow down, this shaft is going to kick. So when it kicks, it's going to accelerate that club a little bit more. But more importantly, when it kicks forward, what we're actually going to see is the shaft or the club face there squaring up. So with this club, if you do tend to miss a little bit off to the right, what you're tending to do as you're coming down is probably pulling a bit too hard with the arms there, or accelerating the hands and arms too quickly. So the shaft will stay bent back here and the face will be open. When you sequence properly, as you come down and the energy is transferring from the shoulders into the arms, hands, club shaft, eventually into the club head, that shaft is going to kick forward, club head's going to speed up, and you're going to square that face up. So those are really the sort of bad shots that you're probably going to hit. The misses you're going to have will be a little bit to the right, but you just need to work on your swing drills and just practice more to get that sequencing a bit better. If you can't hit it full stop, you need to go right back to the beginning, check in the mechanics, your posture, your rotation, right arm, wrist fold, get that right. Okay, then you need to work on tempo, because if you get the mechanics right, then work on your tempo, get that right, which then gives you the rhythm, then gives you the sequencing. It's doing it in that order. Yeah, if you stick to that order, you are going to get there, you are going to find it. But as I said before, just don't think you're going to buy it and become really good, because you need to spend time with it. You know, like anything you do in life, you've got to put some time into it to get the best out of it. But they're really good. You know, my experience, I've been in the golf industry since I left school, you know, since 15 years old. So I've been in the industry for the best part of 27 years now, and coaching 20 years. And I'm just looking for ways for people to improve. This helps. Try it out, you know, and listen to my instruction. You know, I'm here to help and get everybody better at golf. So appreciate you watching this, and if you brought any of my products in the past, thank you. I appreciate that. There's lots more on the way, lots more instruction coming as well, so I hope you're with me on this journey. Thanks for watching.